What's one of the sweetest sounds of motorsport? Well, you'll find out after the break as we bring you heaps of horsepower on day 3 of the Alphera Dutton Rally Queensland Round. Day 3, the final day of the 2006 Queensland round of the Alphera Dutton Rally National Series, was set to deliver a high-octane cocktail of the best motor racing and partying yet. Racing around a 1 kilometre street circuit through the heart of the Gold Coast, adjacent to the world's greatest coastline, in front of thousands of excited spectators, now that's awesome. Competitors couldn't get enough of the Broadwater stage, so it was just as well an encore round of the event was included in the rundown for day 3. Partners, both on and off the track, Greg Keane and Amanda Sparks, in their 2001 Porsche GT2, battled it out for the top time on this stage. Although placing second, Amanda had the quickest time over all 4 runs with a 1 minute and 4.95 seconds, thrashing Greg's best time, which was a 1 minute and 5.54 seconds. Brendan Nichols' newly acquired highly modified turbocharged 1990 Mazda MX-5 was previously owned by Western Australian competitor Warwick Gates, who, along with co-driver Nicholas Box, finished 8th overall in the first leg of the series. Still pumping 330 horsepower out of the Nissan SR20 engine, and in the capable hands of Nichols and co-driver Peter Gazard, the car seems set for another top 10 finish. David Finnemore and Chris Sprangers, who had consistently made the top 5 throughout the competition, were keen to keep it that way, looking for a podium finish on the 3rd and final day. The question was, with such stiff competition, were they pushing hard enough? Hill climbing is said to be the motorsport discipline for the thinking driver, which, after a big night of partying, could prove to be a problem for the Dutton competitors on day 3. The undulating 980-metre Mount Cotton hill climb pit drivers against the clock on a ripper track complete with downhill and uphill gradients. But for many, just as challenging as completing the climb was actually locating it. For the father and son Nicholson team and their 1995 Toyota Land Cruiser, the course was an uphill battle. Now, time for some girl-on-girl action. As we pit the competition's only all-female teams against each other in a battle to see who's best. In the blue corner are Sarah Newman and Belinda Topping. Nicknamed the Wives, as both their husbands are well-known competitors within the event, Sarah and Belinda in their modified 2006 Mitsubishi Evo 9 have the advantage of family talent. But will they be a match for the other all-girl team in the brand new Volkswagen Golf R32? There's a little bit of competition between the ladies?
Definitely, it's good to have another girl team in the competition, and the Evo's got a little bit more power, so we took care of them in some events, so it's been good.
I think the drags were a saving grace for us.
Yeah.
In the red corner are Molly Taylor and Samantha Stevens. A writer for Wheels magazine and host on Channel 9's The Car Show, Sam has plenty of driving experience. So does Molly Taylor, up-and-coming tarmac rally ace. Driving Volkswagen's brand spanking new R32, can the girls defeat the Wives?
There's another all-girl team in an all-wheel drive. It's very good to see, but they were running before us in the Broadwater car park and went a little bit too hot into a corner like a certain person has been doing today, and hit a water barrier, but put water all over the track, and I was next, and I didn't know, and I hit the water, and I looked at the barrier, and I came about this close to it, and hit a hat while I was going, and thought, that was very tricky. There's always sabotage at a Dutton rally. It's usually by the boys.
So what does Sam, a motoring journo by trade, think of this hot little hatch?
It's really good. The first lot of these cars are coming in with a DSG, so that's what we've got. It's like a clutchless manual. So it's point, shoot, paddle up and down, and look like an expert. Makes you look really good.
The battle lines have been drawn, and the stakes were high. It was time to see if the women were all talk. The results could not have been closer, with little more than a few points in it. But there had to be a winner, and for this round at least, it was Molly and Sam in their Volkswagen. Being an all-girl team in an event like this is one thing. Being an all-girl team and married to two of the event's top drivers is another.
That's kind of nice for you guys because generally the men go off and play cars and not always the wives compete, but both of you are doing it.
I think
Well, we get to watch them enough, so we thought this time, it's time
home
for
event,
us. Yep.
why not?
Now, speaking of the husband, last night, how is he?
He's fine. Spent last night at Gold Coast Hospital, and yeah, he's good. No dramas.
Fantastic. So you didn't have a problem hopping back in the car this morning and going for it?
That corner was a little scary, but no, I made it around that one.
And?
Had a bit of a slide on the next corner, so, but we're good.
We rename it Newman Corner, I think.
So,
Racing only themselves at the hill climb, drivers were able to set their own pace, which David Finnemore in his Evo 6 did with gusto. Perhaps pushing too hard, he popped the lens of our camera clean off, proving just how much power this little Evo has. From one end of the car spectrum to the other, the difference between Finnemore's 2000 Evo and David Michael's 1986 Corvette is like night and day.
This is a 1986 Corvette. The engine has had significant rework recently, but otherwise it's in standard form. I drive it to work every day, all the way through Brisbane. This is the first serious rally that I've entered into as a driver, and I'm loving it. Everybody's got to try this.
So Glenn, this year's Dutton's been quite eventful for you.
It has been, yes. I spent a couple of weeks prepping a Subaru STI, and my driver had to pull out with his STI on the Wednesday night due to family commitments. So mad panic on the Thursday morning before the event started to get a car ready and to find myself a co-driver, which was David. So I quickly borrowed the wife's shopping trolley, which happened to be a Subaru WRX, and we quickly bunged some fire extinguishers in it and some tyres, and got to Warwick. And second event in, I broke the engine, and so then we thought, well, what are we going to do? And David just happened to own a Corvette, so we thought, well, that wouldn't be a bad car to do the event in. So we're back now with the Corvette.
And how's it going?
It's just so much more fun than the Subaru. Street tyres and about 500 horsepower, so very different and lots of fun.
Late nights with little sleep have become par for the course for most competitors. But as Mick Jones and Shane Topping found out, staying up late to fix the car just ain't as much fun as socialising.
So Mick, how's it been going?
It's been going okay. We had a little bit of a problem last night at Broadwater Car Park. Shane and I both got through our first runs, and then I started the second run and broke a rear drive shaft off the line, and that sort of stuffed up the last two runs for us.
And you fixed it obviously overnight?
There's a few guys from the Rex Club down the Broady there watching us go around and that, and one of the guys in the club, Brake Distributors Australia, they're one of the mechanical places down there that supply the brakes and that. We sort of organised them, plus one of the other guys in the club donated a rear shaft, and we went and replaced it that night, so it took us about an hour.
So how's it been going today?
Going really well today. We sort of stopped using the launch control now, so it's sort of, I think that was part of the problem last night, so we're just sort of getting off the line without the launch control.
Getting down to the business end of the competition, and the battle cries were ringing out.
Go hard or go home.
Have some fun and give it hell.
Yeah, I reckon we should be right for the podium.
But was their bite worse than their bark? Or were they all just full of pee and wind? Well, only time will tell. Parklands Gold Coast is an equestrian complex situated only 5 kilometres from the centre of Southport and covers an area of 116 acres. The centre is home to the Gold Coast Show Society, Harness and Greyhound racing clubs. So it's used to horsepower, and today there will be plenty of it, albeit of a different kind. The course was a tight auto test, where a sub 30 seconds run was the time to beat. Not necessarily the fastest thing on four wheels with a time of 49.78 seconds, but definitely the most spectacular to watch was Matthew Gallier in his 3 Series BMW. With performances like this, it was no wonder the crowd was having a fresh from the New South Wales round, the Murcott boys, Matthew Vardy and Jamie Lovett, have added more power, boost and an exhaust to their Volkswagen Golf GTI, much to the delight of onlookers. A hard-earned thirst deserves a big cold beer, and competitors were parched as they arrived at Melbourne for the announcement of the 2006 Queensland Alphera Dutton Rally Championships. The results have been finalised and the times were in. First up, the Co-Driver Championships. The hard luck story of the weekend would have to be Dave Pittman and Greg Muller, who were set for a podium finish before running into mechanical problems on the last stage of day 3. Dave, who at the end of day 2 was sitting in first for the outright Co-Drivers Award, still managed to finish third overall. In second place sat Richard Dembrinker in his 1996 Porsche 993 RSCS. And first place in the outright Co-Drivers Championships went to Shane Topping. The Outright Drivers' Championship was next, and Greg Muller, who dropped back to 7th after mechanical problems in the last rounds, left the door wide open for Phil Heafy and his 2000 Mitsubishi Evo 6 TME. In a massive effort, Phil climbed from 5th place to 3rd on day 3. For David Finnemore, the hard work had paid off. He was awarded 2nd position for the Drivers' Outright Championship. After the withdrawal of series favourites Martin Nataris and Mark Berry, it was no surprise to see Matt Cherry in first place, winning the Outright Drivers' Championship for the 2006 Queensland round. Without doubt, the Outright Team Championships is the most prestigious award of the event. Made up of drivers and co-drivers points combined, it was still anyone's guess as to who would win. Mick Jones and Shane Topping, who in a colossal effort had brought their car back from the dead after Shane rolled it earlier in the year, finished in 3rd place. Working towards a podium finish all weekend, David Finnemore and Chris Sprangers proudly sat in 2nd. So claiming their debut win and the Queensland Alphera Dutton Rally Team's title was Matt Cherry and Kim Ledger.
Congratulations, guys. Well done. A good effort, Kim.
Thanks, Glenn. As I said to you the other day, we would have been happy for a top 10 finish amongst the great company and great races and brilliant machinery. We would have been happy with a top 10, but thanks to my driver here and a bit of effort, we managed to get through a bit further, which was just a bonus. You know?
Well done, mate. Happy with the result, obviously. What do you reckon about the weekend?
I loved it. Just came over here with the attitude of just having fun and cutting loose, and turned out for the best.
Now, did you expect to get the double title?
Not at all, not at all. We were hoping to do a joint effort with 2 good drivers, but never to take driver and teams.
Back for Victoria?
We'd love to come back for Victoria. We planned to do the whole series because we didn't finish the first 2 because of some minor glitches. So having knocked this one off is great, and we'll give it a go again in Victoria, just see how we go.
So it was worth the effort coming from WA?
It's worth the effort whether we made it or we didn't. I mean, it's great company, it's a great show, and it's a good event, and so we're happy all round. So.
From heroes to zeros over the course of 3 days, and another team struggling to finish an event.
What was the call? Go hard, go low? Go hard or go home, right? I went too hard and now we got sent home. That's what happened. Greg did a fantastic time on the last run. All I had to do was 2 more little motor corners, and sitting there on the line, went to launch and it broke the universal. So there was no driving. So I was trying to get someone to push it around, but no one wanted to push it.
From finishing 2nd in last year's event to totalling the car earlier in the year, Shane Topping was pretty pleased with placing 3rd.
Shane, congratulations, good effort.
Thanks very much. It's been a fantastic weekend, and it's good to actually finally get to the end. No cones, cars running. It's been great. Another great Dutton event.
You knew it was going to be a tight battle.
Yeah, all 3 days. Just with the events that's taken place, and there's been quite a few things happen, and it's just been up and down the whole weekend, so it's very tight. It's been good.
Any of the top teams, Nataris Arthur, Finnemore Sprangers, Barry Newman, Cherry Ledger, Pittman Muller, and Heafy Welch are still in with a chance to take out the National Series, which concludes at the Victorian round in September. While they may not have finished first, we reckon these folks still deserve a mention. After winning this many trophies between them almost every night, it was no surprise to see Greg Keane and Amanda Sparks in their 2001 Porsche GT2 finish 7th overall, as you'd want to after paying that much for your car. Although never entered to win, the 95 Land Cruiser of Quinton and David Nicholson surprised everyone, almost cracking the top 20 and finishing 29th overall. Molly Taylor and Samantha Stevens parked the VW R32 in 30th position. Not bad considering it was their first factory drive. However, the wives, Sarah Newman and Belinda Topping, finished 23rd. It's been a loud and proud, larger-than-life 3 days at the fastest show on Earth. And you're just one click away from being a part of the action when it starts all over again in Victoria from September 15 to 17. Log on to DuttonRally.com for more information. We'll see you there.